here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Well, that is right. You are listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. And yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Adjusted the microphone there. It's good to be here on YouTube. Hour number 2. Of course, we're always on KYAH, 540 AM, Utah's Talk Authority. Also here in Indianapolis, Freedom 95. Good to be here, whether you're listening as a podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or TuneIn or Spotify, iHeartRadio, listening on YouTube, listening on Freedom 95 or KYAH, Utah's Talk Authority. Good to have you. Good to be here. Thank you for joining us today. So, last hour had an interview, the bulk of the time, with Donald Rainwater running as the Libertarian candidate for the state of Indiana. And we talked with him. If you'd like to hear that, and look, there's some basic questions that, I think Donald Rainwater and those of us in this audience have a lot in common. I know many folks would say they identify themselves as a conservative. Many folks would, and there's folks in here that would identify as libertarian. And I identify to a degree with both of those things. I call myself conservative, not bitter. In fact, you can see it on the hat right here on YouTube, conservative, not bitter. In fact, Mike Manikin back here in the corner, there we go. He's got a conservative, not bitter t-shirt on as well. But libertarian, look, we're for limited government is what this means. This nation was founded upon this principle that government certainly has authority, but it's the authority, the consent given to it by the governed. We've given it this authority. And they're not the Lord of our lives. They don't get to control what we do, but they do serve a legitimate purpose. The problem is it's hard to identify that purpose today because we've allowed this government to swell and expand out of control. I mean, just out of control. Madness has ensued. And so, fighting back for limited government is important. So I appreciate what Donald Rainwater is trying to do. I appreciate what people are trying to do as far as conservatives or other libertarians trying to take control of the Republican Party. Whatever the strategy here, I think we need to continue to find ways to work together and to promote this cause, to promote the ideas that served as the foundation for this country, which is limited government. And so it was good to talk with him. I mentioned off the top of last hour, and I said we'd probably come back to this hour, and I do want to come back to this. Twitter, I mentioned this. Twitter puts a warning label on actually 2 Trump tweets that I've seen. Now, the tweets are, 1 of 2 and 2 of 2, if you will. They're in sequence, but there's 2 separate tweets. And so this was the first time they did this over this issue of mail-in ballots. But admits, I'm reading from the headline of Fox News here, but admits no rules were broken, I guess, by Trump. I want to read this, part of this, because we talked briefly about this last hour. It says this: Twitter slapped a warning label on one of President Trump's tweets for the first time on Tuesday, cautioning readers that despite the president's claims, quote, fact checkers say there is, quote, no evidence, end quote, that mail-in voting would increase fraud risks, and that, quote, experts say mail-in ballots are very rarely linked to voter fraud, end quote. Twitter's new warning label was issued even though a Twitter spokesperson acknowledged to Fox News that Trump's tweet had not broken any of the platform's rules, and even though some experts have called mail-in balloting an invitation to widespread fraud. Look, the idea that we can send ballots to everybody and not expect not expect that there be an increase in fraud is preposterous. It's preposterous. It's like, I've struggled a couple times to come up with a good analogy. It's like they already believe this. Let's put it in their terms today. When you see a large crowd of people walking down a city street, say in the Ozarks, as I saw happened over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, folks upset about this, people taking pictures, making proclamations and guarantees that there would be another outbreak of COVID-19 because of this. So just as if there's a large gathering of people in the Ozarks, for example, or any other street, the government says, hey, the likelihood that COVID could spread here is greater. Just like that, very similar, very actually identical, I would say, in an identical way, if there's more ballots floating around our, mail system, going into mailboxes, of course there's more opportunity for fraud. That is just suggesting that's not true, is not being intellectually honest. Now, are there safeguards? Are there ways to prevent it or make it much harder to do? Maybe, possibly. But this idea that Twitter's got to put a exclamation point here on Trump's tweet because he says that let me read the tweet. I read this last hour. Let me pull this sucker up. 2 tweets, actually. But they're in sequence here. So here we go. First tweet says this. It says, there is no way zero is in all caps, and there's an exclamation point after zero. Zero's in parentheses. There is no way zero that mail-in ballots will be anything less than substantially fraudulent. This is Trump's tweet. Mailboxes will be robbed, ballots will be forged, and even illegally printed out and fraudulently signed. The governor of California is sending ballots to millions of people. Anyone, let me read the next, this is where ellipses, ... actually 5, Trump's got 5 dots. Anyone living, going to the next tweet, in the state, no matter who they are or how they got there, will get one. That is problematic, right? I mean, if you're not a citizen, again, if what Trump's saying here is true, no matter who you are, if you just have an address, you're going to get a ballot. That seems problematic. I mean, if you're putting the tool by which someone can cast a vote in the hands of someone who is not allowed to vote, that at least gives them the opportunity to cast a ballot. It's just like if we give them access to the voting booth. Sometimes I listen to the things I'm saying as they're coming out, and I think, why am I having to say this? Because this is so elementary to me. This idea that having more ballots out there absolutely creates more opportunity for fraud. There's no debating this. There's no debating this. More ballots floating around in the mail system, in people's mailboxes, going to people. I mean, some people are going to get multiple, right? Well, Todd, there's a way to prevent against that. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. But it certainly gives us the opportunity, not us, but people that want to be fraudulent, gives someone the opportunity to take advantage of that. I don't even know how this is remotely arguable otherwise. So Trump's tweet, I'll go back to the tweet here. That will be followed up with professionals telling all of these people, many of whom have never even thought of voting before, how and for whom to vote. This will be a rigged election. No way. So again, as I mentioned top of last hour, and I'll mention again, at the bottom of the tweets, Twitter has put a little blue exclamation point. At least it shows up as blue on my phone. And it says, what's it say here? Get the facts about mail-in ballots. So basically, what you're reading is not a fact. Now, here's the thing. This is Trump's opinion. This is something that, of course, can certainly be the case, right? It's certainly possible that additional fraud, voter fraud, can take place if there's ballots in the mail. Of course, that's the case. I don't see how this is even how someone can argue otherwise. They shouldn't be telling us why it's not. If they really believe this, say, I understand. We understand, right? I would just think if I was on the other side trying to deal with these questions and objections, I just wouldn't come out and say, if I really, really believed it, I wouldn't come out and say, you're just trying to, lie about the risks here. Okay. Explain to me what how we've mitigated the risks. I would acknowledge that, hey, you know what? I understand the idea of ballots floating around the country, going to anybody and everybody, how that would make you think that there are fraudulent opportunities here. Here are ways that we are preventing against that. And I would list those, A, B, C, D, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Either way is fine. Maybe I'd alternate 1, B, 3, D. I don't know. But the point is, I would list those out. I would explain to people why the fears or concerns or their initial assumptions are not correct. That's not what's happening here. Twitter instead just puts you the link when you press the button. It takes you to a little blurb that says this: Trump makes unsubstantiated claim that mail-in ballots will lead to voter fraud. Unsubstantiated. Again, if more people are doing something dangerously on the highways, then there will be more accidents. I don't know how is that unsubstantiated because we've not studied it? At some point, common sense has to kick in here for people. It hasn't, and I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But then it continues to say this. On Tuesday, President Trump made a series of claims about potential voter fraud after California Governor Gavin Newsom announced an effort to expand mail-in voting in California during the COVID-19 pandemic. These claims are unsubstantiated, according to CNN. So they've cited CNN here. Good old friends at CNN. I wrote about CNN last night, or yesterday I should say, when I finished up our latest newsletter, Conservative Not Bitter, Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter. You can subscribe to that. It's free by going to toddhuffshow.com/subscribe. But I wrote a little bit about this. CNN and how they bend over backwards. They're contortionists, right? They're professional contortionists. No matter what is being said in the narrative, they'll contort it so that it hurts Republicans, and they contort themselves to make it not hurt Democrats as best they can. They do this with Biden and with Burisma. They do this with Biden and the "you ain't black" comments, which is what we talked about in the article yesterday. So, look, this is the fact checker. The fact checker, I guess you're going to contrast a Trump tweet. You're going to put an exclamation point and say, here's something from CNN. And then it says this underneath, what you need to know. Trump falsely claimed that mail-in ballots would lead to a rigged election. That can't be deemed as false. You could say Trump, this is an example of not reporting. Trump, of course it can lead to voter fraud. Some of these states are very, very contentious, very, very close. Of course it can lead to that. It continues here to say, however, fact checkers say there is no evidence that mail-in ballots are linked to voter fraud. Yeah, so let's just send them all out to everybody. You know what else? You know what a fact checker can tell you? No Russian collusion or Pokemon Go ads led to any voter fraud. But yet we perpetrated that lie and nonsense for 3+ years now. Of course there could be. What do you mean no evidence? I don't understand even what the claim is here. If someone gets a ballot, or maybe multiple ballots because our postal system is what it is, or maybe if just the idea that there's this many ballots floating around, the idea that having more ballots floating around does not create more opportunities for fraud is not intellectually honest. Now there might be safeguards, there might be protections. Explain those, but don't tell us that ballots floating around out there don't give us more opportunity for fraud. I'll read the other things that you need to know according to Twitter. Trump falsely claimed that California will send mail-in ballots to anyone living in the state, no matter who they are or where they or how they got there. In fact, only registered voters will receive ballots. Then it says 5 states already vote entirely by mail, and all states offer some form of mail-in absentee voting, according to NBC News. He's speaking to California here. He's speaking to California. And again, states have the rights to set their elections. But Trump also can point out that there are certain issues that need to be addressed and that we need to be concerned with. And again, having ballots out there handled by the post office, going to your mailbox, can certainly create opportunities for more fraud. It doesn't, of course, guarantee it. It doesn't mean that there can't be safeguards, as I've said from the beginning here. But the idea that Trump has to be fact-checked on this is just peculiar at best here by Twitter. But anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. I've got to take a time out. Get back to, when we get back, I've got some other things I want to get to here in the news. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
Outside of the federal government, no one likes losing money. Any amount of money, not just the $6 billion the State Department lost. And what makes losing money worse is knowing that we could have done something to stop it. Well, if you have an inefficient furnace, a toilet that won't stop running, or a leaky faucet, you can do something about it. You can call the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. Call 317-831-5279 or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Are you an electrician, plumber, or handyman looking for an 8-to-5 job that pays you what you're worth? Copper Ridge Home Services wants you. Our veteran-owned family business offers holiday pay, weekends off, and on-site training for entry-level positions. Our team is growing, so if you have a can-do attitude, we want you to be part of that growth. Ready for a change? Give Copper Ridge a call at 317-839-6100. That's 317-839-6100. Copper Ridge Home Services. We value your time.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now. and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Welcome back. I want to mention here one of our newer sponsors, advertisers, Remodel Health. Remodel Health is a health benefits software for employers that helps save you money and care better for your team. They've partnered with this program. You can get their guide if you're an employer, if you're someone who is, looking to provide this sort of, health benefits and so forth to your employees. With the help of their software, you can cut your healthcare costs by an average of 30 to 50% by shifting from overpriced group plans to affordable individual plans chosen by each employee. You can download their guide by visiting remodelhealth.com/Todd. remodelhealth.com/Todd. Known about these folks for some time, and then through our conversations and getting to know them better, I'm more and more impressed by what they do. So check them out if you're an employer looking to provide benefits, health benefits. And this is not the traditional way. This is an innovative way, and I love their approach. remodelhealth.com/Todd is where you can go for information on that. So let's shift gears here. Let's shift gears to Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, yes. So how many examples of this do we need to see? We've seen this even in our local area. We've seen this in Illinois. I'm in Indiana, so our neighbor to the west, Illinois, Governor Pritzker, he shortly before issuing the stay-at-home orders for his state, he told his wife and daughter, hey, you might want to get out of town here because I'm about to issue an order here that's going to not let you basically leave, more or less. So you can go to our horse farm in, I think it was Florida. I don't know. And so they went. They went because, hey, that's essential to take care of horses. I'm not saying it's not, but you know what? There's probably other people that have animals to take care of or businesses to run or fill in the blank here. So he found that was appropriate to, I guess, give his family special treatment. So we've got that. We've got here in the state of Indiana, Republican Governor Eric Holcomb, which I know I'm beating him up on this a little bit. But truth be told, no one else could camp in Brown County. The governor, however, decided he could go to Brown County. Now, in fairness, the governor there's a governor's quarters, I guess, in Brown County. But again, I just find something problematic about this, don't you? I mean, no one else can camp because the governor decides or his team decides that there's some sort of risk of spreading coronavirus, I guess, from our campers and tents. But he can go down there. And on top of that, when going to pick up an order of, something for dinner, an order of food, he had a picture taken not wearing a mask as he was telling Hoosiers, how to be safe and responsible. He wasn't following social distancing rules, things that he'd been talking about, preaching about the whole time of this, COVID pandemic and so forth. There's picture evidence of him, and he said something about he said something like he momentarily lost his vigilance or something along those lines. So we've got that. Now we've got Gretchen Whitmer, which is our neighbor to the north in the great state of Michigan, although she's doing all she can to destroy that. Michigan Governor Whitmer claims her husband's reported boat request was a, quote, failed attempt at humor. Okay, so let's set the stage here. So she has basically, she's ruled, you talk about a petty tyrant, folks. She has ruled like a petty tyrant in the state of Michigan. I mean, you couldn't even go on a fishing boat out in the middle of your lake. That was deemed, I guess, dangerous and not necessary. She basically wants you locked in your home, probably in bed, shivering under the covers, afraid of what is going to happen next. I mean, she's taken all sorts of dramatic actions. So she had basically told folks, don't be going into northern Michigan if you don't live there. If you have for the holiday weekend, don't be doing this. Don't be going to your vacation spots, blah, blah, blah. But her husband has a boat there. So they have a boat up there. And because everything's been shut down, the people that are up there in northern Michigan are backed up, right? Their requests are backed up. So her husband, I believe he called. Yeah, he was called. And this was posted by the gentleman. His name is Todd Huff. He is the owner of North Shore Dock, LLC. And this is what he writes on Facebook. He writes, "This morning I was out working when the office called me. There was a gentleman on hold who wanted his boat in the water before the weekend. Being Memorial Weekend and the fact that we started working 3 weeks late means there is no chance that this is going to happen." He continues by saying, "Our office personnel had explained this to the man, and he replied, 'I am the husband of the governor,' or to the governor." Is that how you say that? The husband to the governor? I would say of, but whatever. Will this make a difference?" That's what the governor's husband said. The husband to the governor. So basically the staff's telling him, "Hey man, look, we can't get your boat in the water. We're behind. The governor shut things down. She's made it, really hard for us to function. We got a backlog here." And he says, "Hey, I understand, but would it make any difference if I told you that the governor was my wife?" Wink, wink. It's almost the equivalent of checking into a restaurant, having a $50 bill or, I don't know, $100 bill, $20, wherever you might go, might be a $5 bill between your fingers. "Could you get us a seat?" You walk in, there's a bunch of people waiting in line. "I'm wondering if you could get us seated." "No, do you see all these people out here?" "Yeah, but got a little something extra in this for you if you can find us a seat." In this particular instance, the extra for you is, I am the governor's husband, the husband to the governor. So, what does that mean? The Governor Whitmer's up there saying it was a bad joke. Bad joke. In fact, she seemed really ticked off about this. I don't think she's very happy with her husband about this. But nonetheless, folks, this is what we get. The more centralized and more powerful our government becomes, you get more and more of this. What kind of a joke is that? How's that a joke? I understand if you're with a buddy. You're like, "Hey, man, you want to come over for dinner?" "Oh, man, I can't. Hey, do I need to remind you that I'm the husband of the governor? Maybe you should get your priorities straight." Wink, wink. Okay, that's funny, right? That's just messing around with your buddy. You get some random guy working on the dock with your boat, and you tell him on the phone, "Hey, can you get my boat in? Would it make any difference if I told you I'm the husband to," which again, to the governor? Oh, anyway, these folks, it never cease to amaze me. I've got to take a break. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable, flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Welcome back. This program, by the way, brought to you by the good folks, in part by the good folks at Radon Environmental. Mike and his team, they serve Indiana, Southern Michigan, Ohio, and they basically help protect you and your family or your business from the dangers of radon. Now, the risks of exposure to high concentrations of radon are very serious enough to cause disease, cancer, and can even be fatal. To fully understand the risk of radon, and if your family is potentially at risk, or your business, visit radonenvironmental.com, or you can call Mike and his team at 317-843-0804, 317-843-0804. Be sure to tell them that Todd sent you. Mike's a great guy. I get to, I get to know most of these folks. So, but they've done great work. In fact, they say that they're proud to announce they've never they've never run into a situation that they've not been able to fix regarding mitigating radon and so forth. So check them out, radonenvironmental.com, 317-843-0804. So we've talked a little bit about Governor Whitmer. And I want to go back there for a moment, and I want to shift gears again. I will probably do that next segment, where I want to talk about something else I saw on Fox News here a little bit earlier this morning. But it's, again, last hour we had Donald Rainwater on, and we talked about the importance of limited government, people having liberty, people having choice, people having freedom, not being under the thumb or the heavy hand of the state, not having different classes of people created by the government, whereas one group of people can apparently get their boat in the water early. If you're the husband to the governor of the state of Michigan. She, of course, says he was joking. Ha, ha, ha. She didn't look like on that stage. I'm telling you, she did not look very nice. I'm just going to say, she did not look very nice when she was addressing this at the press conference yesterday. She was not happy. Not happy at all. Didn't think that this joke was appropriate. Again, this is not how you don't use this joke with random people, right? There's certain things you can joke with your buddies or your family about these things, and it's kind of funny and whatever. But you don't joke with random people. It's not a joke to say I'm married to the governor. Can you help me out? I mean, that's the average person's not gonna. I mean, they're gonna have an uncomfortable reaction. I think, is this guy really asking me to do something for him because he's the governor's husband? What the heck am I supposed to do here? I better talk to my boss about this, right? I mean, that's the way that this is going to work. Average person isn't going to say, ha, 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 it's a great joke, sir. You cracked me up. That's not how this works. Anyway, that's what she wants you to believe. I'm telling you, this is what happens when government grows. This is what happens. First of all, it attracts people who oftentimes have a desire to accumulate power over others, which candidly is, I think, reprehensible. I want to be influential. I want to be able to inspire, motivate, or influence others to the cause of conservative, constitutional conservatism. But I don't want to have power over somebody. What is that? That's not a healthy behavior, right? And not only does it attract people that, not everybody, please don't misunderstand, but it attracts people, some people that feel that way. On top of that, it corrupts people, right? We've seen countless examples of people who have, noble intentions. They get into Washington, D.C., they get into the belly of the beast, they get into the swamp, and suddenly you can't differentiate between them and the swamp. There's examples of this. You have to be vigilant against what government, all day long. I know we see the media side of, politics where people are fighting and butting heads and calling each other names. But when you attend these meetings and these gatherings, you always hold the seat of honor. You're always praised. You're always, can we have you say some words? We'll all sit here waiting to hear how great you are, right? That can become the lure to people, right? And that's what we see. We've seen it in multiple instances. It kind of segues to what I want to talk about next, which is an article, I believe, in the New York Post, where the writer of the piece, Miranda Devine, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, New York Post, says, hey, if we're all in this together, we've seen this, right? In fact, I'm sick of it. We're in this together. If I hear that again, she says, look, if we're in this together, then why don't you take a pay cut? People in government. She's specifically talking about people in New York government, and effectively the answer is no way, Jose. We're not going to do that. So anyway, that being said, we're going to talk about that when we return. Miranda Devine, New York Post columnist, we're going to take a look at that. And Again, shows you some of the arrogance, the condescension, the disconnect between reality and what we're dealing with, in the free markets and what we're dealing with in the government. And by the way, if these folks really were in this together with us, they would take pay cuts. They would do this voluntarily, I would argue, to try to dig themselves out of, to help dig this country out of what we've gotten ourselves into economically here. But that, of course, is not the case. Far from it. In fact, de Blasio, I saw on Fox News, basically said, I'm not taking a pay cut. So anyway, we'll talk about that when we get back. You're listening to Conservative Not Better Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes, and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Welcome back. So, wanted to talk a little bit about this idea that Miranda Devine, New York Post, writes about. She's talking about, really, if government says we're all in this together, then why aren't they taking pay cuts, right? I mean, the argument goes, the thought is, we have an economy that's effectively been shut down. It's reopening. I understand that now. which is good, but it's still not back to normal. And of course, there's a whole argument of what is normal. Will we get back to normal? Is normal something of the past and all this kind of stuff? But we're taking very positive steps towards reopening it around the country. Of course, that varies depending upon where you are specifically located. But nonetheless, this idea that says, the government can say, hey, you're going to shut down. Right? Remember, I'm just reminded of so many things. The mayor of Chicago, she says you can't get a haircut, but she can. She's got to look good, man. She's got to be on TV. She's got to be on TV. So she's got to have a good haircut. And she can't be expected to do this on her own or to have her, I don't know if she's married, her husband or kids do this. That's not acceptable. The rest of us can do that. Right? The rest of us can cut our own hair or look shaggy. I looked shaggy for a while. My wife cut my hair one time. She offered to do it multiple other times, but I just really never took the time to do it. And there's something about getting a haircut at home. It's just a little bit messier, and I didn't really want to mess with it a couple times. And anyway, but this idea, it's a fair question. Look, if we're in this together, why can't we share in the, I don't want to say the sufferings, but why can't we share in the difficulties? I mean, by the way, government, you realize that you make your paycheck off of the taxes that you levy on the people that you've just told can't work. So why, it seems to me very logical that a government would say, you know what, we do need to consider taking a pay cut. Why is that out of bounds? Why is that off limits? Why are the only people that we ask to sacrifice people in the private sector? Why? I mean, these people, this is costing money too. Yeah, but Todd, it's such a small percentage of the overall, cost of operating government. Well, the same is true for other businesses too, right? And remember, the reason that many businesses didn't have customers was because they were basically told they couldn't. You want to operate a gym, you can't have customers. And at some point, if you tell people they can't live their lives in other areas, it affects the chain reaction. I mean, businesses do business with other business. If you have a client, if you're serving the business community and you're serving schools or gyms or, hair salons or whatever, suddenly you're out of business. And now what about the other people that look to you as a customer, right? Look to provide you with goods and services. Now they're affected, and this chain reaction goes everywhere except to the government. Now, how is that right? How is that fair? Especially when you realize the reason we have the problems we have is because of government dictates and mandates and edicts and everything else. I think it's a very fair question that Miranda Devine or Devine, I don't know exactly the pronunciation there, but I think she's right on this. New York Post and governors and other government officials should, I think, take voluntary pay cuts. I do. I think that. I'm not going to mention the name of a company, but I have another company and was talking with someone the other day about it. And she told me that the executives at the company had all taken, I think, a minimum of 25% pay cut, and some of them took a 100% pay cut. She herself had taken a 20% pay cut, I believe. And so this is the response in the private sector. Hey, we're going to have difficulty, operating our business right now. We got to make changes immediately. Government's like, everyone else can make changes. We're in here. Hey, folks, we're in here trying to tell everybody else what to do. We should be getting paid full time, I guess is the argument. Someone's going to get paid to boss everyone else around and shut everything down and tell people how to live and how far apart to stand and that kind of stuff. Anyway, some very fair questions are raised here by Miranda Devine, and I'll try to post this a little bit later today, but I've got to take a break. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host Todd Huff, back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, president of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change Counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Welcome back. So, look, we have our work cut out for us as constitutional conservatives, libertarians, limited government proponents, folks that believe in the purpose of government being limited in nature and in scope. And it's almost like, in fact, I think this is a strategy sometimes to almost overwhelm people, attack on so many fronts that it's impossible to adequately respond. And I almost feel like that's happening today with the responses to COVID, the attack on the economy, the way that the media defends, protects, circles around Joe Biden, the way that they've defended Hunter Biden, the way that the media has not allowed us to get to the truth in these matters, telling us that they've already investigated Hunter Biden and Burisma. Of course, they haven't shared anything with us about that, just telling us that nothing's there. Like it's an assault everywhere. And so we've got to pay attention. We've got to stay vigilant. But folks, we're standing for a noble cause, and we've got to see a return to limited government. SDG. See you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time